I mean, Hi, welcome to Courageous Conversations. My name is Tasha. I am joined tonight by Christina Martinez, a really wonderful, great friend of mine who has become family. And tonight our topic is love. So, Christina, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I first thing that always comes to mind is share that I'm a mother of two. My daughter is 21 and my son is almost 9. I think that really defines who I am. Outside of that, I'm just a woman who's trying to figure out who I am on a daily basis.
That sounds like all of us. A new unfolding every single day, right?
Yes,
So,
yes.
our topic today is love. We're going to talk about what love means to us, amongst many other things. But my first question for you is, how would you define love, or what does love mean to you?
Hmm. I feel like love is everything. Like love is life. And defining it is hard. I feel like it's more of a feeling. It's something that's really beautiful, really pure. And I really do pray that everyone gets the opportunity to experience that true, passionate, unconditional love in its purest form. And there's many forms of love, I think, which we'll get into.
Yeah, I agree. I think love is a feeling, and I'm starting to discover that love is also a state of being. Like, not only can I feel love, I can be love, I can give love, I can do love. Love is, I don't know, it's so deep. There's so many levels to it. And the more I learn to love myself and to experience that, the more I am able to express that outwardly to everything and everyone around me. I look outside at the trees and I'm like, oh my God, I love the tree. Like, don't judge me, but that's where I'm at.
No, I was just in Miami and I feel the most love like genuine like love for the world when I'm on the beach. And it's just
Wow.
like looking at how beautiful the ocean is, the sand is, the sky is. So no, I feel love when I'm out with nature. So no, I'm not judging.
Love is, for me, is pure gratitude for life and for the people around me and just for my life experiences and all of those things. So love and gratitude for me kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think that there is a difference between showing love, feeling love, being in love, all that, right? It's different. And it's different based on who you're experiencing it with as well. Um, yeah, I think the more we can just learn to love life, I think the happier we'll be.
Yeah. So, can you give me a time or explain to me how you experience love? Like, how do you know, like, this is it? This is what love is. Like, uh, you know, if that makes sense. Does that question make sense?
It does. I'm gonna break it down a little bit though, right?
Mm,
So I when
yes.
I
Yeah.
hear this is it puts a lot of pressure. Right? Like, I mean, like this is the one, I don't believe in that, but
Right.
um I think you know when you know. And I think you know with experience. I think your upbringing has a lot of influence on what you think is love. Um, the people you surround yourself with definitely has an impact on your perspective of love. But I feel like when you love someone, you know, I am someone that loves deeply. And I think that I've experienced love on all levels, right? So that puppy love, that love that was right at the time, I've experienced unconditional love. I've experienced the love, you know, obviously from a mother and a child. I've experienced love through loss. I think there's many forms of love that we experience. I think that life makes it complicated. So some people are like, you know, love is, you know, they don't like love because they've been hurt. But I think love in its purest form is like the most beautiful thing you can experience. So I'm not sure
I
if that
agree with
answers
that.
your question.
No, you did. You did. And I think sometimes we mix up romance with love. So I do think that there is a form of love called romantic love, but I think that that is the murky area, at least for me. I don't, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I don't know if I believe in romantic love. I don't think that that lasts. I believe in love. I believe that I choose to be with someone every day. I believe love in that form, as far as being in a partnership, is a choice. And I think
Mm,
romantic love, the way we've been taught to view it, kind of sets us up for a whole lot of disappointment. I feel like if we're loving from our purest being and we're choosing someone to partner with in life, then that is more of a choice than it is this falling into, if that makes sense. I feel like people tell you you fall into love and then you stay there. I mean, that's a very short part of the relationship. The rest of the relationship is waking up every day and choosing to create with this person, choosing to live and love and accept this person exactly for who they are versus whatever. I can't even describe romantic love most of the
yeah.
time. It's
I think,
what is that? Can you answer what is that to
yeah,
you?
I
What does
feel
that
like you're
mean to you?
describing like lust, right? I think almost like puppy love, right? But I don't think I think you know you love someone once you've gone through something with them because everything is great in the beginning, ideally, right? And when you have those butterflies in your stomach and you're just like you want to spend time with them, but I think you really learn to love someone through those hard times, and that really puts a test to it, whether it's temporary or not. Um, I'm the type of woman that once I love you, I love you for life. It doesn't have to be romantic. It doesn't mean that I want to be with you, but once I love you as a friend, romantically, like I will always have love for you and care about you. I think that our movies make us believe that it's this beautiful thing and it's perfect and it doesn't require any work whatsoever. But you're right, it does require work, intentional effort. It requires a lot of um, partnership and and I would say compromise. And I think not what I think, what I feel is what I've learned most recently through my divorce is that um, you have to love yourself first. And until you know how to love yourself, how to show love to yourself, how to um, show up for yourself, right? And just fill your cup. I don't think you can really have a fulfilling relationship. I think it starts with you, and I think that historically we've done our families a disservice by saying if you love someone, you stay with them, right? I think
Absolutely.
you really have to love yourself first and really make decisions for yourself in order to be happy. I'll also say that you can't love someone and want them to be someone different because that's not like accepting them for it. That's really selfish, in my opinion. That's something I've learned, right? You can't say, I love him, but, you know, or her, but I just want her to do this more. I want her, I wish she would be this. That's super selfish. So I think, you know, learning who you are and learning to love yourself and showing what kind of love you will receive and like to will accept I think that's when you truly will find the love of your life, the person you're meant to be with. But you have to be willing to accept them for who you are. I think that's the purest form of love, is accepting someone for who they are and not who you want them to be or
Yes.
expect them to be, and also loving them through their flaws, right? And I think nowadays people just walk away so quickly. They don't even have a conversation anymore, you know? But this is not about
Yeah.
relationships. This is about love. So I'll stay on topic.
Yeah, no, I love it. I mean, that's the point of this. It's normal conversations that we would have if me and you were hanging out and we just go there. But I agree with that. I don't think you can truly love until you learn to truly love yourself. And like you said, have to, at least on my journey. I can only speak for what I've been through. The deeper I've learned to really love and accept myself, that's how much love and acceptance I can give to other people. So you bottom line, you cannot truly love other people and show up for people and accept people until you can do that for yourself. I think that is
Yeah.
the deepest form of love. Like you said, that is, for me, the deepest form of love. It makes me have to connect to God. It makes me have to connect to things bigger than me. And that is how I've grown to truly just love and appreciate myself and be able to look in the face of my children and give them that same thing. Like I fill them with love because I don't ever want them to think that love is outside of them. I always thought it was this prize, but the prize is loving yourself. It's pouring into yourself. It's accepting all the parts of you, whether they are your most beautiful parts or your flawed parts, because that's the only way you can accept someone
Yeah.
else in that
Cause
capacity. It's
yeah,
impossible. If you don't do that for you, how could you even know what that feels like to give it to someone else?
you bring up so many good points. And I'd say like that last part, especially when you say like you can't even accept pure love if you don't have it within you, because you're gonna feel unworthy or you're gonna feel like it's inauthentic. But really it's what you deserve and what everyone deserves, right? And I love that you're teaching your children, like we are teaching our children, not by speaking but showing. And
Yes.
I think that that's the greatest gift we can give them, is to show them how to love themselves outside of a relationship, that they don't need a relationship to feel love, to show love, to be loved, to like live in love. And that anything above that is just a gift, is a blessing. So, you know, that's why I love this is like an honest conversation that you and I have all the time. So I love it. Yeah,
All the
absolutely.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
that's
think
the point of this for sure.
yeah, I think so the book I recommend everybody, especially women, read is called Untamed. And I think that's the book that really helped me to reflect and figure out like who I am as an individual, as a woman, as a mom, and what would my life look like? What do I want my life to look like outside of societal pressures, outside of what I was taught, outside of what I watched and observed as a child, outside of everything, right? Like who am I? What do I truly value? What do I need as a woman? And knowing that it's okay to ask for that and to show myself that. Like I don't need anyone to show me that. It's something I need internally. So I think that's the highest form of self-love, is like really just pouring into yourself and spending time with yourself and just figuring out who you are as an individual.
And I think that's what allows us to give that gift. Once we receive that gift for ourselves, we can go out and spread that to everybody. I think that is
Mm-hmm.
the gift. That is the ultimate gift that you can give someone, is to truly, truly just love them. I think it's what we all have been seeking for in these relationships, even in motherhood and all the things that we're even in our jobs, like we're searching for just that deep acceptance and that deep love that we are good enough as we are, that we are worthy of whatever. But like for me, that like you said, that book I remember when you were reading that book. I remember you would like message me because you were like, "Did you read this book?" I was like, "Yes, I did." And you were like, you would send me little quotes here and there, and I just remember watching you go through that awakening of really learning yourself and starting to love yourself and trust yourself and know yourself. And I know that you starting that journey and really coming to love and accept yourself is how you got to be where you are now. I mean, I'm not going to tell
Yeah.
people what you do and how successful you are and what a great mom you are and what a great human you are, but I feel like you had to go through that process of awakening and finding yourself and learning to truly, truly love and accept yourself to even be where you are right now. Like that was the entire journey.
Yeah. Thank you. That means a lot. I'm trying not to tear up. Yeah, I would say that firsthand because you helped through it. Um, and as rough as it was, because you have to really like once you start looking in the mirror and like really understanding and taking accountability for your own life and for the decisions you've made and um just everything. That self-love journey is rocky. It's ugly, but it's so worth it. It's beautiful. It's it's everything. And I think, you know, when it comes to talk of love, I feel like I'm finally at the stage where I'm ready to receive love in its purest form.
Mhm.
I think like
That's
that's like
big. I don't
that's
think people
like
get how big
I
that
know.
is because we think we receive love. We think we know what we want when it comes to love, but once you do, like you said, once you do that work, that mirror work, that deep inner work, and then you can finally say, I am ready to receive, because that's where I am, Christina, even though I'm not dating, because you know me. I am not dating, but I am ready to receive love in all of its, you know.
Yeah. I think it's a recent revelation where I feel like I think I had some really honest conversations with some people and realized that I was definitely emotionally unavailable. And that showed out with the people I was choosing. And also,
Yes.
um, it just required me to do some more digging and some more work. But I feel like I'm really at the stage where I'm ready um, for the right person. I'm not, going to choose anyone. But I'm ready when God is gonna send the person for me,
Yeah. Pika, I like it.
my life
I like
partner,
it. Me too.
experience life with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm ready too. I am ready because I've done what I needed to do to be ready. And I also trust myself that if it is not what I've experienced and what I'm feeling, I can easily walk away. I can easily say, no, thank you.
that's I have a moth in my room now. Great, but I think I'm the opposite where I it's harder for me to walk away because I love deeply. So I have to be really careful with who I allow myself to fall in love with. So I think those beginning stages are really easy. Are really
Yeah.
critical. Um, but I'll say that there's a really good YouTube video or it's actually on Netflix where this comedian is talking about a puzzle, right? And like love and life is like a puzzle, and it's about finding the right fit. Um, yeah, I think we can walk away from anybody that's not a good fit. Doesn't mean there's any love lost, but we've
Absolutely.
hard to just accept someone that isn't right for us. And it has nothing to do with someone not being good enough or us not being good enough. It's like we want someone that's quality, that's gonna be good for our children, that's gonna understand what your partnership is and who's gonna give us the love that we deserve, the love that we show ourselves. I think we've learned what we don't want, and it's time to receive.
Absolutely. What we do want.
Yeah, what we
And
deserve. I'll
again,
take
we
want.
deserve, say it again, what we deserve. Absolutely. I agree. I mean, I could talk about this all day. And an example that I can give of now understanding what love truly feels like. I could even use you as an example. Like just the vulnerability that we've shown each other over the years, and I mean the true honest heart to heart conversations that we have had, and having a space where someone is not going to judge you when you tell them your truth or you admit that you didn't do something right. Like just having people in your life, having people in my life, because this is 5 years ago, I never would have had this conversation with another human, let alone whoever's going to watch this video. So having people like you in my life who I could trust with my softest, most vulnerable, darkest parts has been, I mean, I can't even put it into words, but that's what love is to me too.
So, question for you. I know you're interviewing me, but do you feel like love can exist absent of vulnerability?
The love that we're talking about tonight, that requires authenticity. And with authenticity, you would have to be vulnerable. I think vulnerable is the new word because so many people have walls up. So many people have things that they need to work through that we have to practice being vulnerable now. I think people are practicing vulnerability because we're lacking authenticity.
Yeah. So those three kind of play into each other. I would say definitely. I think you can be authentic every day, all day, every day. I think it's who
Yeah.
you are authentic or they're not. Um, when it comes to vulnerability, I feel like it's necessary to be loved and to love, right? Because how can you really love someone if or give someone a chance to love you if you're not willing to be fully vulnerable, right? And show them who you
Yeah.
are. Because you're putting a wall
I
and
I
you're not.
agree. That I totally agree because I think that's really the definition of vulnerability means allowing someone in. But when did we get to the place where how did we get here? I guess is my thing. And I'm speaking from where I am right now. Like I'm this is how I see it in my mind and in my heart. This is what I feel is that when I meet people now, either they're matching me, if I'm going to be in a relationship with someone. And that's the kind of love I'm talking about. Because I can love a stranger on the street and not need to be vulnerable with them or, just showing up as myself and just give love, whatever. But I'm talking about people that I want to build a future in a relationship with. You have to match where I'm at. And if you match where I'm at, there are no walls. I don't have any. If we're going to be in a relationship, then my walls are already down.
But my question is, do you expect that up from the beginning and you walk away as soon as like someone's not vulnerable enough or you feel like there's not, or do you
Yes.
actually
The answer is yes.
see?
So if I'm at my job, no. If I'm doing work, no. If I am at a function, no. But if we are going to be moving forward and coexisting in some sort of life together or relationship together, if we're building a relationship, whether that be a friendship, reconnecting with a family member, trying to develop a relationship, creating something, then you have to match me. And if you don't match me, then I don't think I think at I mean, I've done this a couple times already. So at this point, I'm
Define
not
match.
I shall not
Define matching. I really want to talk about
define match me.
yes.
So match me to me means emotionally you are available. It means you have done the work that you need to do, that you can show up authentically. And match me means spiritually you've done enough work that you understand what it is that I'm talking about right now. I need to be able to have this kind of conversation with you. I need to know that you love yourself deeply and that you love yourself so much that you are able to give me the love that I am ready to receive. That's what I mean by match me. You have to be able to say, you need to be able to identify that that's something that you're working on. You have to at least be able to identify it. I'm not saying be perfect at it, but if you still can't even identify that that is, then that's not a match for me. That means that you are not where I am. And it's not a dig because there's people that are probably way up here compared to me. So there's some people that I don't match, but you have to match me. And I'm going to use my daughter. She's probably going to be mad. I hope she doesn't watch this,
They
but I'm
have
going
some,
to use her relationship as an example. They don't agree on everything. They are both humans who are growing and figuring things out, but they have conversation and they are able to communicate, hey, I don't like this. Hey, when you did this, I felt like this. Hey, I need 5 minutes. And then that other person gives the person the 5 minutes.
uh,
That's a match for me.
that.
That means they match.
I agree, right? I love that you said match you. I just would challenge us all to have some conversation, right? I think sometimes, again, we romanticize love and like it's going to be perfect. And if it's not, it's not meant to be. But in actuality, we're all like living based on our perspective and our experience. And like, I
Absolutely.
am so attracted to a man that can have those conversations, right? And say, hey, this is what I heard. Did you mean that? Or, I think it takes vulnerability to get to a so you can build that love. So that's where
I
I'm
agree.
challenging us all is to kind of like not walk away so quickly if they're not like immediately a match, but just if you find someone that's worth it, kind of like talking through and like um if they're willing to. Right? I I'm so happy for many reasons. One, because I know you and I have done so much work on our own growth and our own journeys that we're not going to accept inauthentic relationships in any form in our lives. And that means walking away from people that historically probably we wouldn't have, right? So because we're prioritizing our own self-love and our own self-worth. And we're showing people how we want to be loved and like what we're willing to accept. And so I love that for us. So even if we're just, three friends in a couple of years, we will be the happiest people in this world. The other thing I want to mention,
Happiest. I know.
I think
But I
the
have
other
a feeling this happiness cannot be contained. It's contagious. And I think we will find those people. What is it that you're looking for?
that's a really good question. Um, in the book Untamed, right? So one of the questions Glennon Doyle asked you to do is to spend some time describing what the most beautiful relationship looks like to you and like what would your partner what does that feel like, right? So I had that written down on my wall for like 3 years. So um I'd say what I'm looking for is partnership. I don't think people understand what that means, right? I'm looking for a partner. I would say I need someone that would understand that I over communicate sometimes because I am an overthinker. So I need someone that like can actually stimulate my mind and actually talk things out with me, no matter how silly. Right? I want to have someone that um, is genuinely loves my kids and genuinely interested in building a relationship with them as individuals outside of our relationship. That's super critical for me. Um, and I mean, there's a lot of different attributes, right? But I think smile is important. Let's talk about physical, right? So I think someone has a beautiful smile and like really kind eyes. You can tell that they
Yeah.
just have, like you can feel their spirit when they have like really kind eyes and a beautiful smile. That just is super attractive to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The rest is like TBD, right? Someone that's caring and like does the little things. I don't know. I can go on for days about this. Someone doesn't mind being like that. Someone that doesn't mind cuddling. I think that's my big one. Someone that likes to cuddle because
Oh,
I'm a cuddler, right? Physical touch is
yeah.
important to me.
For me, what I would want in a partner is just someone who, I mean, number one for me, and I'm going to bring my daughter up again. She's probably going to be mad. She's like, why are you always bringing me up? Anyway, but I remember having a conversation with her when she was maybe around 19. She always wanted to be married early. She was like, I want to be married at 21, or she might even said 18. Who remembers? Whatever. So we were having a conversation after she had just, broken up with someone. And I was like, so moving forward, what would you require in a relationship? And she said this. She was like 19 years old, and she was like, whatever age she was like, I want a man that walks with God.
Mm,
And I said, Excuse me? And she said, yeah, I want someone who walks with God. So for me, ever since she said that, I realized how important that is, because I feel like if you do that, all the other things that we're looking for, I mean, for me, that's the most important thing, is someone who walks with God. So that's number one for me. Number two is someone who is kind. But I mean, if you walk with God, I'm pretty sure you are kind. Someone who understands finances. That's extremely important to me right now. I'm like a man who can talk to me about the stock market or Bitcoin and that kind of stuff. I don't know why I'm so attracted to that right now, but a man who could talk to me about finances, um, looking for someone who is adventurous and, just ready to go at any moment. Like I want to have a RV and travel the country. Like, are you coming with me? Or are you going to be like, I can't do that? No, I need someone that's like, yeah, let's go travel for a
yeah.
month in an RV and, you know, that kind of stuff. So just adventurous and open-minded and growth mindset. It has to be someone who is constantly looking to grow. And I guess we're just looking for people like us, because that's how I would describe myself. And I'm looking for someone who doesn't have to be exactly like me, but definitely compliments me, and can teach me something. So,
The entrepreneurial mindset is so attractive to me. And like someone that's, like you said, help you grow, challenge your mindset because, I always want to make sure, like, especially professionally, I'm always challenging myself to grow and I love books. So having that in a partner, I think would be beautiful. I think one thing I definitely don't want to leave out is I think it's one thing to love all the great parts of yourself, but really
yes.
learn is the parts of you that need love the most is the one that, that's where you should focus on because a lot of
Say it
things
again. Say it one more time.
I don't like about my,
Say
a
it.
lot of things I don't like about myself, a lot of negative self-talk that I have to correct myself with. And it's those like parts of me that I think society makes me feel shameful of. That's where I need to love myself the most and then like accept myself and say, okay, there's a little work to be done here, but I'm not going to shame through it. I'm going to love myself through it and give myself the same grace I would give to anybody I love. Right. So
I
love,
think
like,
that sums up everything. I think that part we almost left out, and that just might be the most important part. And that's the work. That's the work that we're talking about. So all this work we're talking about, they must have done the work on themselves, they're healing. That's what it is. It's loving the parts of you that you never accepted, right?
mhm.
It's loving the parts of you that you'd rather keep in the background and hide, the parts of you that you go to bed at night like, oh, I got to do better in this area. I need to be better, or feeling shame about or guilt about. Like, if you can love those parts of you and talk to yourself, we keep using the word love because that's what it is, lovingly, with grace, saying, I understand that I didn't know better. That's why I didn't do better 4 years ago, 5 years ago, last week, and just constantly speaking to yourself in a loving way and understanding that you are doing the work and you are getting better. And if someone I mean, I think that's it, Christina. That's the nugget of the night.
And love is messy, but it's beautiful mess. And I pray everyone gets the opportunity to love themselves the way they love other people. Because I think we oftentimes
Mm,
love ourselves. Um, and I pray that they get to experience love in its purest form. Um, and it's just beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I love love. I'm a lover.
me
That's
too.
and I
Me
just
too.
for the life that we're building because it's on our terms, and we're not going to accept anything less than the love we give ourselves, even though it's going to require work. So, I'm excited to see where our journey takes us in the future.
I know. And we know we love each other, so hey, we're good.
Yeah, we do
Everything else is a bonus, right?
exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And I just want to reiterate because I feel like you hit the nail on the head at the end of that conversation. Loving, giving love to the parts of you that need it the most. It's the most beautiful thing you can do for yourself because that is the only way for you to show up
Hmm.
wholly, authentically as you. Accept those parts, love those parts, and give them the love that they deserve to.
Absolutely.
Well, Miss Martinez, I thank you so much for joining me today. It was my absolute pleasure. I love talking to you. We could talk for hours, but we are going to wrap it up. But I truly, truly love you. And I thank you. I thank you, thank you, thank you for talking with me today on Courageous Conversations.
It's an honor, Tasha. I love you and I love having conversations like this. So I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
I love you. Thank you
Bye.
guys for joining. Christina?